Southern California. Here we go.
Hello, everyone. It is me, Demetri K, and I'm sitting here with Donovan, the Black Dude, Brandon Sadiq, and it is a beautiful Sunday afternoon here in Southern California, about 75 degrees or so. And I'd like to say thank you to Marcus Guyton for everything he does behind the scenes. I'd like to say hello to Facebook, the other side of the conversation, the ride or die audience. Also, hello to YouTube. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to this channel for more insightful commentary. Yes. And to those on the podcast, thank you so much for joining us today. As I always say, we're going to get better at making the transitions between topics so you don't get that choppy sort of ending, if you will. But anyway, thank you so much. As always, it is the purpose of the Demetri K Show to promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things in the Black community to make us an even better people. And Facebook, I'm going to get to every last one of your comments, I promise. And if I skip one, let me know, right? So anyway, today, as usual, before today, I kind of wonder, okay, what are we going to talk about today, right? Because we talk about a whole host of things, and I do have something I'm going to talk about a little bit later on. I was actually going to lead with that, and the topic was going to be, where is Black leadership leading us? But then I just something came over me like an hour before we came on here, and I was like,
why are we fighting this battle?
Why are we staying here? Now, what do I mean by why are we staying here? What is here? Well, I'm talking about the United States of America. And who are we? Black people. Black people who have been brought here for, we know the story.
Work purposes.
Right, work purposes, for a lack of better words, right? And so I just why are we here? Why are we staying here to endure the struggle, the suffering? And listen, I'm not saying you're not going to struggle and suffer wherever you go, but we know for a whole host of reasons, and I'll get into that, why Black people in America suffer, right? Has a lot to do with systemic and institutional racism, white supremacy, the whole nine, right?
No, that's long gone. No, that happened 60 years ago. You guys got a Barack Obama now. How could there be racism? You had a Black president. How? Wake up, Demetra. Come on. You can't be serious. Girlfriend.
Well, we know, I think that was my car key. Well, so we know that's not the only reason why we are, suffering and having difficulties here in America. A lot of that has to do with ourselves. Let's be honest. We as Black people are having a very difficult time for whatever reason. I mean, we can be here forever just trying to list off all of the things, but we're having a difficult time really just as a whole. Now, I'm not saying some of us, but I'm saying as a whole, a majority of us having a hard time just getting on the same page. And for lack of better words, just unifying in the things we need to do to better our condition, right? We are just like in last place in everything in America. If you think about it, it's really become that way all over the world.
So we're taking L's?
We're taking L's for we're just not even lack of better words. We're just taking L's, right? We're at the bottom of everything. Everything, we talk about this all the time, economically, health-wise, just you name
business
it.
Ownership, wealth.
Everything.
Should I go on?
I mean, you could. But and honestly, I'm really kind of in a depressive state right now. I'm not depressed. But it's just depressing because it's and we talked about this before. I don't want to be negative, but sometimes I just wonder, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? I know, like I said, I'll be 49 in a couple of months. I know in my lifetime, we're not going to see Black people, especially in America, collectively just get it. Just get it and just say, okay, enough. We are tired of being at the bottom. As Donovan said, we're tired of taking L's. We are tired of being overlooked. We are tired of fighting for equality. We're just tired. Everywhere you go, we have to fight.
Yeah, we have to fight not only the white man, we have to fight the Hispanic man, we have to fight the Asian man. We're fighting everybody.
We're fighting ourselves.
And the biggest tenement to our problem is ourselves.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a big part of it, a huge part of it. And just like even politically speaking, we're in election season here, and everybody and a mama is fighting over the black vote. You can't turn on, well, for me, it's YouTube. I don't have TV, but you can't turn on TV or YouTube or TV without seeing a candidate talk about the black vote and being asked about the black vote.
Right, and how they get down with the brothers. Let me meet my saxophone. Do 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 do. Oh, do you know a buck bounce?
You stupid.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Every cycle. That's all they got to do to get entertain us.
Right, entertain us. And, this is not something that's new for us. We've been at the rodeo before, if you will. We know that politicians, whether it's a Democrat or Republican, we know what they do in order to get the black vote. But we don't, how can I say this? We don't enforce our end, if you will. So you want my vote. Okay, this is what I need you to do for me. And when I say me, I'm talking about black people.
Tangible.
This is what I need to do. Instead, we just fall for the hook, line, and sinker,
Oh, don't worry. They're going to hook us up next time.
But it's like I just, like, I'm speechless. I am. I'm speechless because it's like.
Are you frustrated?
I'm beyond frustrated. Okay. And so, as we talked about before, we went to Africa, specifically South Africa, Johannesburg, and Soweto, and where else did we go? The
Seychelles. We went to Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, so, and, we spent some time over there, and it was awesome, amazing, just relaxing. Fabulous, relaxing. And, Donovan and I was talking about that the other day. It was just like, dang, there was just no stress, no... it was just beautiful. And the most part, being around your people who are like you, who look like you, are like-minded for the most part, it was just an amazing experience. Now, one might say, well, you guys were on vacation. You don't really live there, right? Because we see on the news how Africa's doing this and this bad is going on. The people here and, riots and... but when we got there, we didn't see that.
Right. I mean, there was a couple murders down or killings a couple blocks down the way.
There was a couple killings down the block here.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. And that's what I tell people. So weren't you scared? Scared of what? What is there to be scared of?
Right. And so, just going over there and knowing that, it was just a whole different world and vibe. I think about it. Like, why are we staying here? We're always talking about... Go ahead.
And it's not just that it's a whole different vibe. It's different when you go to some place and you have the economic impact or the money to live the way you want to live. Because compared to the local economy, I felt like a white person.
You stupid.
I just felt like the world was mine.
Right.
I can buy what I want.
Right.
People kissing my butt. Oh, officer. Hello, officer. What was a good name out there? Ogable. Whatever his name is. Ogable, whatever's a good African name.
Manolo.
Yeah, Manolo. Yeah.
Yes.
Hello, Officer Manolo.
Yes.
I don't have to worry about being arrested, because he knows that I'm in the penthouse over here. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it just felt so good.
And as Marcus Garvey, the Honorable Marcus Garvey, tried to do so almost 100 years ago to this day, really, if you think about it, he tried to get us to go back to Africa and say, hey, let's blow this joint. Let's be out of here. There's nothing in America for us. This was almost 100 years ago. He was trying to get us to leave here.
What do we got to lose?
You got a minute? I mean, because you think about it, that was 100 years ago, and here we are, and really nothing has gotten better for black people. But everything is getting worse for black people.
Exactly, and we're letting it get worse because we keep buying into this. Oh, well, this good old white man, he's going to let us in there. Look, we could go into shops and stuff, and he's robbing us blind.
We are still begging to go to be able to go to school, without being discriminated against. We're still
hairstyles.
Begging, to work to show up to a job with the hairstyle that is befitting to us. We are still, hell, you name it, sports, entertainment. You got Negroes with millions of dollars who are crying about not being recognized by the Oscars. And so it's like, why do we want to continue staying here begging the very people who brought us here, not for equality or justice or any of that? They brought us over here as a cargo, as a product. We were brought over here Now, and I know there's going to be some people say, well, not all black people came from Africa. There's some black people.
You're right.
Talking about them.
Those Negroes have come over here to take advantage of the sacrifices that we made, the small steps that we made to get the advantages of, and nothing more power to them.
I'm even talking about before we came over here, slaves. You know, some people say there's black people who are already here. Right. You know, and so I ain't talking about them.
We ain't talking about them.
But at the end of the day, who can tell the difference now? You know,
black is black.
Right? Who can tell the difference? And so, you know, we are still fighting for just the basic necessities, if you will. You know, we're still doing that in 2020. And then, like I said, I just have the mindset that we're going to continue to do that.
We're going to continue to struggle.
Yeah, continue to struggle and beg the oppressor to see us as equal.
Well, what's really sad, I was watching a show on YouTube. I do a lot of my stuff on YouTube, even though I got TV, unlike her. I do, but I do a lot of surfing on YouTube because it's like, to me, it's like an encyclopedia for me, and I love getting knowledge.
Right.
And, you know, when our black men are being taught to stand down and not stand up, that's part of one of the biggest problems that we have, where we are like what happened to Snoop. They backed him down. You know, oh nigga, you don't say nothing about no woman. You know what I mean? And it's like these leaders that could be leaders in the community won't stand.
And that leads me to my next point. So then I talked about this lack of black unity, but we also have a lack of, how can I say this? And the word escapes my mind right now, but black men and black women don't get along. For the most, right. I don't even say for the most part, but especially with the inception of social media, it's really being played out in public that we just don't get along. And to piggyback off of Donovan's point, you had someone like Snoop Dogg who was not as eloquent in his delivery, in his rebuke of Gayle King. Fail King, you know, however you want to say it. He could have used some better words. He didn't do that. But from that point, everybody, you know, and I'm going to transition to that, black leadership, if you will, and I say that in quotes very loosely, came out against Snoop. You had your Al Sharptons. You had your Oprah Winfrey. She get on there crying. You have, you know...
Wait, and who did she cry to? A white audience.
Yeah, it's just Susan Rice, who, you know, we talked about this last week. Yeah. And so, to Donovan's point, you know, Snoop was trying to stand up for black men, if you will. And you saw a lot of black men coming out and say, you know, really just...
We're tired of being attacked.
Well, because he was defending Kobe.
Right, but as a whole, black men, I'm tired of being attacked as a black man, period. I'm tired of it.
Right, and then so to the point that I was trying to make as far as, you know, black men and black women not, you know, getting on code and being on the same page, instead of us... And a lot of us did. So I don't want to say we didn't largely, but a lot of us, instead of getting on the same page with Snoop and saying, he shouldn't have called her B-word.
His content, the content of what he was saying.
Yes, but he was right. You saw a lot of, you know, black women saying he was misogynistic and, you know, how dare him. And,
let's see, a gangster rapper.
Well, and attack him. But it's like, what was he saying right? I mean, there's Gayle King and her homegirl Oprah have a history of attacking black men. And, you know, y'all saw, I thought it was a joke when I first saw it. Rick James is now going to be sued.
Right, his estate, right. He's been dead for what, 12 years now?
14, since 2004 or something like that? Well, since 16 years.
Yes, about 16. So now, a black man can't even rest in peace. You're just going to go after him.
And you know the first thing I thought? I wonder if Gayle and Oprah are like, you know, on the typewriter. Oh gosh, we got this is going to be we're going to milk this for 2 weeks, you know.
Right.
And so it's just, I'm just going to keep it real with you guys because that's the best I can do. Is I'm not really feeling hopeful. And I say this a lot. Before I was saying this jokingly, like I don't want to be here anymore. And again, I'm not saying I want to die or like, you know.
I should have never taken you to Africa.
She took me to San Bernardino.
Yeah, exactly. Taking you to Africa and you saw the riches and what could be.
It wasn't even... It
confirmed but it was what you heard.
It was just more like, gosh, you know, we're going to jump back on a plane and go endure what we've been enduring. Right. You know, it's like... Is that insane?
It is.
Is it insane? As comments, I'm not feeling very hopeful because... I just need to be honest. I don't think we really want to use this, but a lot of this is on us too.
We have to take the reins.
A lot of this is on us
of our
too.
destiny.
I mean, we have to, but I'm at the other end of it. I'm not going to give up right now because I'm here. I'm still here in the United States. But I'm at the point now I don't have to be here.
Well,
there's like nothing for me
nothing
to be
holding
here.
you here.
Right, there's nothing holding me here.
Well, I just got this, before we get to the comments, I just got this saying that hit me that a good friend of mine, my Fruitloop, had said. What did she say?
What did she say?
You brought me in this world to...
Oh, you're talking about my daughter when she says... How dare you want me to do something with my life? I didn't ask to be here. You brought me here to struggle.
Right.
You had me, and now I'm forced to struggle.
This life-bearing... but think about what she's saying. That does make sense.
Right. You forced me to struggle.
Yeah, we put her in a situation where she has to struggle in this environment.
Right.
If she was in the other environment...
Which she did go to, and she had a great time as well. She's like, why are we here? Why are we staying here? So anyway, I'll talk long enough. I'm over it. I am. I'm over it. But I'll get to you guys.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to say this. There are days Dee comes in here and she is just done. And I'm just I hope she ain't ready to quit. I hope she ain't going to cry in the car. And it's really sad when when you see a leader like that. I'm not saying discouraged, but you're just like
I
beat
am discouraged.
Down,
I am.
You're beat down.
I am. I am. As old people say, I'm just tired.
Tired of being tired.
Then you know what they used to say to you? Just keep living. You think you're tired now? Just keep living. So anyway, I'm going to get to you guys' comments. I have something else to say. And if you guys have anything else you want to talk about today, please mention it. We're going to kind of just open it up a little bit. Sure. And I'm going to talk about this wacky election season that we got going on here. I want to talk about some of this black leadership that's joining in, if you will, with Mike Bloomberg.
Yep. We got to beat Trump. 4 more years to Trump. We got to beat him. Yes, Miss Nancy. That's James Clyburn, by the way.
Hey, Ricky, how are you? And Billy, what's happening?
Hello.
Long time no see.
Yes.
Sydney says, really, it's kind of cold here. Yeah, it's hot. Look, I'm sweating and stuff.
Yep.
I have my sunroof open, so this side of my face is
darker than the other side.
Yeah, it's actually burning.
Sunburn.
Actually, yeah. And what's happening, Tay? She says, good afternoon,
yes.
D&D. And then you say, good afternoon to my people in the chat. Yeah. And then Marcus is putting up the link. So if you haven't, if you're in the watch parties, come on the side to comment so I can see your comment because I want to respond to your comment. Tay.
Let me say something today. My hometown, Baton Rouge, it had a Mardi Gras parade. And we know that's a traditional thing that goes on. And as I was watching the Mardi Gras parade from my cousin's phone, right, I'm looking at the Negroes just dancing and doing this, and we are 12 years from zero. And they're acting. I understand the tradition of it, but I'm just like, I don't think right now is the time to start dancing.
Well, it's funny you say that because Neely Fuller Jr. actually made that good point, and he is a genius who defined white supremacy and all of that.
Geniuses, we think alike.
Actually, the mentor to Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. But he said what are black people celebrating?
Yeah, what are we?
He said we constantly are celebrating and partying and stuff. But he said and I'm paraphrasing, but we ain't moved the ball. We ain't did nothing to celebrate over. We just partying and having a good time. We are complacent in everything that pertains to us. But then, I always say this, we as black people, and I don't want to be negative, but that's just kind of how I feel today.
Make it plain.
We as black people, we're reactive.
Yeah.
We're reactive. We are not proactive in saying, okay, this is what we need to do to stay ahead of the game. This is what we need to do to make sure that we're not gentrified out of our own communities. This is what we need to do to make sure people don't come open up stores in our neighborhood where we are completely shut out. This is what we need to do to make sure that we have black businesses and we hire black people. And this is what we don't
do that. We put pastors in there as business leaders, and they're not business. They're a pastor. You have nothing to do with business.
Well, then on the reactive side,
hey, T'Challa.
On the reactive side, we have, oh my God, our neighborhoods are being gentrified. Right. We can no longer stay here. The rents are tripling. Like in California, there's no rent control. So anytime someone gets ready to, they can raise the rent on you. And if because minimum wage is, they're trying to get it $15.
$7.50.
No, $15 nowhere. Even if it was $15, is not going to help.
It's not going to help you here in California.
Black unemployment is lower than it has been, but it's still high. You know, there's still a lot of black people who don't.
Having a part-time job is not a job with benefits. So you can have 3 part-time jobs in California. That's not going to help you.
Right. You're still going to be behind the 8 ball, if you will. And so, you know, we're just constantly reactive. We react to everything that happens to us. But this is the thing. Like, when you're reactive, because there's some situations you just need to be reactive in, right? But when you're reactive, a lot of times you're able to bounce back or you can get a solution. But we're reactive and we don't have a solution. Right. Our solution is, well, what are they going to do for us?
We're always waiting for somebody to save us.
Yeah, well, somebody to save us. And when we have all the resources and the ability mentally and physically to save ourselves, but we are been just so, like somebody put up today, and I'm going to get to you guys a comment. Somebody put up a picture today and they're trying to pass it off as a slave back in slavery, but I think it's from another country. But it's a black man wearing like a loincloth, and it's a real photograph of him, and he's got his foot in this contraption, and the caption says that he was a runaway slave, and so he's getting ready to have his foot cut off, right? And so the guy formed a narrative and saying, well, if that was me, I would remove the pin and free myself, and I'm paraphrasing, but beat my captors with the thing. And I said, well, you know that physical slavery is not really our issue anymore. It's a mental slavery. I said, there's people today that would have their foot caught in that contraption and they wouldn't do anything to save themselves because mentally they're enslaved. Mentally they're thinking, oh gosh, you know, if I free myself, I might get in trouble. Massa might be mad. Oh, let me ask permission if I should come out of here, instead of saying, well, you know what? After that, I'd rather die before I lay here and let them cut my foot off.
Or here's a good example of mental slavery currently. Hey, we got to vote for Joe Biden. You know, that's the Obama days. Do you realize Obama, 4 years of the Obama presidency, was trying to dig out of the worst recession that ever happened, and black people are at the bottom. And then the next 4 years, the jobs are coming back. Blacks, he didn't do anything for blacks. So as a black person, why would I want to go back to where nothing was done for me? But people think that was a good time.
Right.
If I was a white millionaire, it was great. Gangbusters. But as a black person, that was one of the less progressive times as a black person.
But to your point, though, we want to be left out of the conversation politically. I know there's some people going to say that's not true, but it is true. Why is Bloomberg, of all people, 22% of black voters are thinking about voting for why?
Because it takes a billionaire to beat a billionaire. Number one, Donald Trump is not a billionaire. He's not a billionaire because you never saw his damn taxes. The man is a con artist.
And guess what? You never will.
Right, you never will. Number two, we know Bloomberg is because he owns multimedia things. Advance worth $66 billion?
About 50.
Yeah, $56 billion. So that's a known fact. You can't say that about Donald Trump. But that's the thinking we think. A billionaire is going to think a billionaire.
Mike Bloomberg just wants the job priority. This is something to mark off on his I did it list.
Well, yeah, that and to keep Bernie from getting the nomination and all that other stuff.
Right.
So.
It's okay.
And think about this. Why would you want to vet Hillary Clinton as your vice president to galvanize the other side? They don't want to win. They don't want to win.
I have my theories about that thought.
Yes.
And Tay said some of us refuse to want to do better. Yeah, we just don't. You know, period. We don't. Hey, Frank, it says real talk. And Tay said Snoop wasn't wrong. His delivery was just a tad off. Yeah, just a tad.
Well, when you're upset, you're upset.
Hey, when I get upset, it's like, woo. And Cindy says it's nothing new. This is what they wanted us at each other's throats. They don't have their jobs. And then Cindy says, I think Gail was dead wrong. I think Snoop was wrong for cursing her out. I think the death threats that, if was true, was wrong. But they get so, I think, I don't know what you're trying to say.
But they got back.
Oh, okay.
And laugh.
Got it. Hey, Jerry. And he says, amen, Donovan. Pastors are not business leaders.
No, absolutely not. But for some reason, we think they are. Well, if the pastor said, take the funds from this and we're going to put it in the big building fund and we got to get him his classic car and we got to make sure his kids go to the private school.
But again, whose fault is that? All right,
our fault.
Are we really, really, really mad at the pastor because he has his hustle down tight?
Right.
I mean, I'm just saying, I'm not, like they say, don't hate the player, hate the game. But I'm going to take it a step further. Don't hate the player. Don't hate the game. Hate the players in the game, not the players at the top, but the people who keep playing the game and losing. Right. Like, how many times are you going to keep... I'm not asking gamblers. I'm asking people who don't gamble. How many times are you going to go to the casino and keep losing your money before you say, you know what?
You got to realize you're a worker.
Yeah. You know, this casino ain't here because it's losing.
Right.
You know? Right. At some point in time, we, as the people that keeps participating in the game, have to just fold up our chips or your cards or whatever it is, because I don't gamble, and walk away. And
then most of us that have gone to college, if you take a statistic class, which most of us have, that one of the first things they teach you in statistics is the example of a casino. A casino is guaranteed to make 30 cents off of every dollar. You would have to be a really incompetent businessman, Donald Trump, to go bankrupt in a casino. It's almost impossible.
Right. So, like I said, I'm not mad at pastors. I mean, they making their money. It's us that I don't go, but... You know, it's the people who keep going to church, tithing and paying offerings. And, you know, by the way, you stepped off of a bus or an Uber to go to church. You don't have a car. Right. But you see the pastor getting out of the pulpit, jumping in his car, and he ain't going to give your ass a ride home as you wait for the bus stop in your Sunday best. So, I mean, that's our fault at some point in time where we just have to say, you know what? This money is probably better off somewhere else, you know? And then Sydney says that's by design, though, to be reactive, of course. Yeah. We have, but you know, I want to beg to differ with that point as far as by design, because, you know, you think about somewhere, a time like with Black Wall Street, they had no choice really but to be proactive. You know, what are we going to do? Sit here and die?
Because the white man ain't going to share their
there was no socialism. It was like we have to do for ourselves. Now, we know what happened with that. But the point that I'm making is we weren't always reactive. We're just reactive now to, just like, eventually, as Dr. Claude Anderson says, we're going to be extinct. And I don't even think we can. Like, we're
from zero.
Like, I'm one of those people that it's hard for me to be comfortable. Just in general. I'm not saying like when I go to sleep at night, I'm not comfortable. Sometimes I do toss and turn. But I'm not one of those people who could just be comfortable when I see the aftermath around me or the mayhem, because that's what we are in the middle of as Black people, is mayhem and destruction. And it's hard for me to be comfortable. You know what I mean? So, but that's where we are.
Well, it's funny, you know, I commute from San Bernardino from the school over there. And, of course, it's tax time. I was at the mall the other day, and I just see these young Black moms in there shopping. And, you know, of course, you overhear their conversations. You know, girl, I just got I got $4,500. You know, whatever their amount of money is, it doesn't matter. But you're just giving it away.
Right. And that's another kind. Maybe I feel better next week. But, you know, we had this conversation last. And not that everybody listens to us, because they don't. Everybody don't listen to us. So, you know, but like you said, it's tax time. And instead of, you know, really doing something great with that money, like starting a business or, you know, investing, buying real estate. That's a great thing. Yes. You know, buy some real estate in the hood or, you know, Black communities.
And you don't have to do it here. You could go to the South and buy real estate down there. That's way dirt cheaper. And be the landlord from over here. We're going to go to the malls. Yeah. We got to get the $300 shoes, and we've got to get the lace front.
Gucci purse.
And a new phone. You know, I got an 8-year-old that needs a $800 phone. You know, it's very sad. It's very sad.
I need a drink. And Sydney says, take the mind, keep the body. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the possibilities are endless when you have somebody mentally. You have somebody mentally, there is nothing you cannot make them do. And there's, like, you can keep them in a state of nothingness. Nothingness, rather. You just keep them there. You know, I don't ever want to do anything for myself. It's just, God, help us. And Tay says, look at my Trevor Noah post. One Black woman was making excuses for Bloomberg.
That was a great post, by the way.
I didn't see that. I have to check that out.
That was a great post. Great post.
I mean, why are we making excuses for Mike Bloomberg? Why? I mean, Jerry said what black organizations are doing the real work to upset the status quo?
None.
I mean,
I'm sure there's some out there, but I can't really name it.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to even look at something like the NAACP.
Go ahead. Sorry.
You think about something like the NAACP.
The way they did me.
Organizations like the NAACP, like I don't even know what they're doing anymore. You know, Donovan and I hung around the NAACP around here for a while. Enough.
Tried. You know, we tried to bring some new blood in there, infuse the thing. My saying of what I've been watching of the NAACP, especially the Riverside chapter here, is it's funny how Generation Fail seems to go on the annual meetings in Detroit and wherever they're going. But then you see, well, what have you done here? Nothing's being done here.
So, yeah, you have organizations like that, but to, your point, Jerry, is like, what are they doing to upset the status quo? They are the status quo.
Right.
They are the status quo as long as we got our big piece of the chicken.
Right. Mark Chicano comes down, the congressman, and, yeah!
And did I talk about that last week? How our congressman, I don't know if he watches or not. But
he does. I love the way people say we don't watch your show, but they could tell you everything we say, or a quote that happened in the episode.
So we have a congressman out here. He's up for re-election, if you will. And he comes up to me. I was at the Black History Parade, and he comes up to me and he says, "How you doing?" It's kind of awkward at first. And I was like, yeah, so he says, "Hello." And I said, "Hello." We look at each other for a minute. And I said, "It's a nice day, isn't it?" He says, "Yes."
Yes, it is.
"There's no need for negative talk today."
I wonder what he was elaborating from.
He says, "Have a nice day." And I was just like, what?
It just came to you particularly.
Yeah. He knew who I was.
Yes,
he knew who I was.
Of course.
And so the point is, I'm assuming he watches some of the stuff that we do.
Or his staff.
We are supporters of Dr. Grace, so who's running against him.
I'm a supporter of anybody that goes against this man.
Right.
Okay.
But, yeah, Tay, I don't know why people are making excuses for Mike Bloomberg. We get caught up, as black people, we get caught up with symbolism.
Yeah.
Mike Bloomberg, he's going to create, and this is his 10-year plan. In 10 years, he's going to create a million new black homeowners. And he's going to create, I forget the number, but a bunch of black businesses.
How? We don't have any wealth. How?
But I'm saying
because the white man ain't going to give us nothing for free.
But I mean, why does he need to be president to do that? He's got all this money. Why he need to be president to do that? I'm curious.
Well, maybe his idea is this. And if you guys watched our show or watched some of our clips from South Africa, maybe he's just going to do another Soweto and give us cardboard houses.
Yeah, with some tin roofs and all that. Yeah.
As long as we got a satellite dish, everything's going to be great.
And guess what the channel was going to get?
The new black network.
The Bloomberg network.
Right. Keep his numbers up.
And Sydney says Bernie ain't going to win either.
Well, no, because now, like I've been telling you guys, if you've been listening to my show, the Democrats and the Republicans work together. They don't want this man. The man has been consistent. They don't want this man upsetting the apple cart. That's why they're pissed at Trump too. Don't think that the Republicans aren't pissed at Trump because he's exposing a lot of what's going on. We have law. Wow, it's funny. The law doesn't seem to apply to the president.
Right.
I don't have to show up for that. I don't have to. I mean, he's exposing this stuff.
Right.
But we've been taught, you follow the law. Ignorance of the law is no excuse.
Right.
He's exposing a lot. So don't think that he's got Republicans, long as he can pass that tax cut for the super wealthy, he's on the team. But when he's doing that other bullshit, so toward Bernie, they work together. It's the ruling class. I'm going to keep telling you guys that until you guys understand. It's about the money.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be. I mean, because how is it that Mike Bloomberg, who showed up late to the race,
the race, they changed the rules when they said they weren't,
or showed up on any debate stages. He's campaigned, but not showed up on any debate stages. But yet now he's, especially with black people, he's trending upward. How?
Right. And then the Democratic Party said, these are the rules. There's no changing it. This is it. This is fair.
Right.
They changed the rules.
Pamela, what's happening? Says, I'm here to listen. Yay.
Hey, how are you doing?
And Jerry says, mayhem, destruction, and attack on our babies. Yeah. I mean, good Lord. I mean, it's just like, and Jerry, he's the black student advocate.
Yes, out here, which we need more of. Thank you, Jerry.
And so he works within the school systems, and he
thank
sees
you.
The destruction that goes on within the school system with black children.
The systematic way they put them in special ed and all the things, or make them troubled kids and go on that path.
Yeah, I mean, but again, in 2020, You know, we all pay taxes. I mean, we all get these, you know, it's election time, these new bond measures.
Yeah, bond measures.
All that they want us to vote on. So where's that money coming from?
Yeah,
that's coming from us,
yeah,
you know?
Yeah, my property tax went up $300 and something off of Measure M that was supposed to improve the schools. The very first college class I took was in a mobile unit at the high school down the street over here, Moreno Valley High School. That mobile unit, according to Measure M, was supposed to be gone. It's still there.
It's still there. It's still there.
So where's my money going? I don't even have kids in the school system.
Right. So. And then Sydney wants to know which post are you speaking of? And then Jerry says, what did the NAACP do to you, Donovan?
It's a long story. G was there, though. They put me on a bus with no bathroom. Funky people.
Well, you couldn't use the bathroom or something like that.
It was broke.
Yeah.
It was broke. Funky people. Then I get up there. Willie Brown shows up. All these old female players get up. Throw their panties because Willie's in the lobby.
Lying now.
No, you remember they all jumped up?
Damn panties.
Well, they might as well have. They go in the lobby. I'm sitting there talking to some dude, and they gonna point me out. And D looks at me, and I'm about to go off.
I was like, you bet not.
Oh, man. I mean,
Yeah.
they did me dirty. They did me dirty.
We got off the bus.
Man.
Oh.
Tell it. I couldn't get a break. Jerry.
We got off the bus. We stepped off the bus.
No bathroom.
It was from here,
to Sacramento.
Which is a pretty long ride on a bus, right? So Donovan's making a beeline to the bathroom, and some lady goes, "And where are you going? Excuse me, where do you think you're going?"
It's all funny to D because it happened to me. So I look at the bitch and I go, what did I say? I go off. I'm going to the fucking bathroom. Do you mind? Because I think she thought I was a kid, or I don't know what it was. But I let him have it. It was a long day, to say the least. It was a long day. So during that whole meeting, it just cascaded down. They just did me dirty.
And then we talk about time, and then when we get there, they want us to go lobby to the assembly people. One of the new laws that they wanted to have passed was that when I, as a black person, go into a white store, it's illegal for them to discriminate against me. That they should just take my money, and not follow me around the store. And we were like, "Are you kidding?"
Yeah.
And
they're rehearsing these kids to go to the assembly members and, just here, present this. It's like a joke. It's like a total joke. Like, oh, look at the kids. Oh, look at the photo op.
And ask Donovan if he stuck around.
Oh, hell no. I went to go see Jose Medina.
This dude just took off. He just parted away from the rest of the sheeple. I'm with the kids and stuff, so I can't really leave.
I was on like the third floor already.
That was like,
I'm at peace. You let him have it. I said, I'm here, blah, blah, blah. Got the chief of staff's number, which I still have to this very day. So,
And then he talked about, I'm flying back. I said, we flying back.
and that was another thing. They put us on a bus while the president and
all the presidents and everybody.
All the inner circle, they flew up. I was just done.
So anyway, that's
and wait. And the NAACP person in charge of the bus fronts the bus driver before we even start the journey. I'm like, we're going to die. You do not tell the bus driver how to do his job. I was like, oh my God. Jerry, it was a nightmare, man. I mean.
Ricky, how you doing, friend? It says, I have invested into oil and company I work for, so my money can go for work for me instead of working for me working for it. Don't be scared to invest. Just do your research before you do it, because it's like gambling in and of itself. Absolutely. We're both investors.
Yeah. Ricky, another good thing, and that's a good investment that you have. Think about something that everybody's going to need, and it's going to be hard to get in the next 10 years. Clean water.
I was about to say that.
Water.
Yeah.
Water. Invest in that right now. Mm-hmm. Water.
Yep. I just had to take a deep breath there, because it was just like, wow. I needed that laugh. Thank you. Thank you, Jerry. I needed that. How you doing, Jonelle? And Tay says, I can't just support anyone. What is Aja doing for black people? Is she even having the difficult conversations like Dr. Grace is? Is Aja engaging with the black community, or is she keeping strictly white and Republican? So Aja is another person who's running for Congress out here as well.
Right. Good friend of mine. She is a Republican, and that pretty much is all I can say about that.
That's all he wants to say about that.
That's all I can really say.
And Ricky said Trump will get another 4 years, and he knows it. I think I think really people need to kind of just embrace it a little bit. I know, the election's not until November, but I mean, it's a real possibility that Trump is going to be in office another 4 years.
Well, I want you guys to think about this. The founding thieves set up a system.
The who?
The founding thieves.
Okay.
Set up a system to where you can get. True democracy is one man, one vote. Correct? Correct. They set up a system that says we can't let the common idiot pick our leaders. So
common idiot.
Yeah. So Hillary Clinton won by 60 million votes of the popular vote, right? 6 million, right?
She should have won if you were going by
real democracy.
Right.
They said, oh, no, we're going to set up another system where we're going to select who's going to win. Come on. I mean, what?
Right. Why bother?
Yeah, well, I'm not saying why bother, but I'm just saying, what kind of democracy are we? That we're not in a democracy, we're in an autocracy. It's
correct.
It's very
honestly,
truthfully. It's very telling,
yes.
and they're showing it to you. But we keep thinking, and that's me, you guys keep thinking democracy. Oh, we're in a democracy. No, we're not. If we can't pick the leaders, we're not in a democracy.
Right.
So that's where we're at.
And Jonelle says, if you're white, just blow a sax or carry.
Yeah, hot sauce
or quote some rap, and you got so-called Negroes vote and all. I mean,
do you know how to buck bounce? Roly-poly Martin. It's ridiculous. And then he got mad as hell when Hillary lost because that means he wasn't going to get a job in the White House.
He's still mad too.
Man.
Roland's still mad. And Tay says, I do not have an issue with Aja being a Republican, but what is she doing for her community? I like the girl personally, but politically, she isn't here for black people. I saw a podcast, and Donovan won't say anything here. Cover your ears.
Okay.
I'll say something. I saw a podcast where she said racism is not what it used to be. It's not as racism is not as bad as it was. You heard the same one.
I did, but when somebody says something like that, it's easy to say that when you're not the one being racially profiled or, hit.
Right.
So.
And not to no shade to her. I mean, she doesn't like me for whatever, probably a whole host of reasons, but it's whatever. She kind of has the ability to pass, if you will. Mm-hmm. And I say this not to engage in colorism, but a lot of people who are on a lighter melanated side of the spectrum, if you will, I've actually heard a few people who are very light in their skin say I've never experienced racism.
Right. Or if they're not light.
So maybe that's her situation.
Right. Or if they're not light in their skin, if they've married the other, their whole political view has changed. You know? I mean, I have a friend that went to HBCU, married a white man. She's totally on this side of it.
She hates your black ass guts.
So.
Hey, John Slee. I hope I'm saying that right. Says, are people not with Bernie just because of reparations?
Bernie doesn't believe in reparations.
Yeah, he doesn't believe in reparations.
For black people. He believes in reparations, but not for black people.
Yeah, I think that's, I think it has a lot to do with black people. Also, regardless of how he wants to spin it, he did vote for the crime bill. Yeah. He was saying because it had some other provisions for women and stuff like that, which is why he did it. But you still voted to harm black people. The black community would never be the same there's obviously a whole lot of other stuff, but due to that crime bill, the black community was ripped apart. So, I mean, whether you like it or not, he had something to do with that.
Do you think black people suffer from battered women syndrome? Because it's like Joe Biden did the crime bill. All these black people were behind him. Bloomberg, stop and frisk. All these black people were behind him. It's like the people that are oppressing us or the people that do these things, we're like, oh, we got to just be